Hey guys, welcome back here to the channel once again, and most importantly, welcome back to Rail Chief 74. Now for today's episode, if you guys have noticed the subtitle, this is something that I think you guys are really going to be pleased with and hopefully really enjoy for today's episode. And this video is something that I consider to be a little long overdue, and I know that I promised you all this video for quite some time. So I figured we go ahead and execute this video anyway. So for today's video, we're going to be sharing with you all some behind the scenes footage on how I made the modifications to my 60-inch Union Pacific streamlined passenger car from MTH, where I take out the old lighting brackets and replace them with LED lights. And this is also something that you guys can also do yourself. And if you choose not to do it, that's also optional. But for my project here, I wanted to make sure that the lighting was a whole lot better for the interior of the passenger car. So like I said, we're going to go ahead and jump on over to the next part of this video where I share with you all some of the tips and techniques that I did for this little project. And as always, sit back and relax, and I hope you guys will enjoy. Okay, so now that we're here in the garage, I think this might be a good time to talk about some of the basic tools and supplies that you're going to need for this project. Just in case you might be able to eventually do it yourself, you'll know right off the bat on what pieces of supplies that you're going to need for this project here. So first off, you're of course going to need the LED lights, like I have shown here on the table. You'll also need a Phillips head screwdriver, a little package of heat shrink tubing, and the smaller the better because we're going to be dealing with very small pieces of wiring. A small jar, so that way you can throw your screws and other little pieces in here, so that way they'll be easier to find later. And for the icing on the cake, of course, you're going to need a really good quality soldering iron, which I'll get back to a little bit later. So the first thing that we want to do here is to flip the car over on the roof part, so that way we can easily remove the screws from underneath the passenger car, so that way we can gain access to the inside. So let's go ahead and do that real quick. All right, so now we have the cover fully removed from the passenger car. And now you guys know why I had to stop the video in the first place, because these cars are very challenging to work on. And if we take a real closer look at the underside of the roof here, there's at least like 3 clips on each side of the roof, which makes it extremely hard to remove from the top part of these passenger cars. So you really need to take your time when fiddling around with trying to remove the roof from the top part of the passenger car, because you don't want the plastic to break, and you extremely don't want to have a mark in the plastic where you're trying to lift the roof up. So that's always something to keep in mind. But we're going to go ahead and put the roof on over to the side for the meantime. Now our next step is to remove the base from the inside where the lounge area is, and we also do need to remove the 2 screws for the trucks, so that way we can gain access to the wiring. And here are the 3 light brackets, by the way, and just by looking at some of these lights, they're almost completely burned out, so it's a good thing that we're going to be working on this car today. So let's go ahead and move on to our next step of this video. So after unsoldering the 3 basic black and white wires from underneath the base here, we can go ahead and take both our red and black wires and solder them to the tabs to their appropriate places on the bottom of the base. And finally, with all of the red and black wires soldered to their appropriate tabs, we can go ahead and apply power to the transformer to see if the lights will work. So I'm just going to slowly apply it to power. And here we have 2 wires. The red one is positive, and we have the other which is negative. So we're going to go ahead and gently push up against the tabs here. And let there be light. And for the meantime, I'm only sticking with 2 LED lights because I don't want to overdo it when it comes to adding more light to the interior of the car. As long as we have a nice, bright, crisp, clear vision of light coming from the inside, then we should be okay. And now our final thing to do for this little tutorial is to fully reassemble the car completely. So the first thing that you want to do is to fully reassemble the diaphragms on each side. And once they're put back in their slots, you can go ahead and lock them into position by re-adding the little door pieces on each side of the interior. And once they're all snapped into place, you can go ahead and fully reassemble the roof. Now please make sure that the excess wire that's sticking out from underneath the roof here is hidden from the windows of the passenger car. And once the roof is put back into place, you can go ahead and screw in the screws on the bottom of the car. Alright, so now that we have the car fully assembled here, let's go ahead and put it on the track and we'll take a very quick look at a side-by-side comparison on before and after. Alright, well, I hope you all have enjoyed today's video today. As we saw by the video, the lighting looks 10 times brighter, and earlier before, when the original lamp brackets were inside, the car was just very dim. So just having these LED lights inside here give you a much better quality interior for the inside of any passenger car that you work on, whether it's Lionel, MTH, Atlas, or whatever. These LED lights really do come in handy for any occasion. And as always, if you guys really have enjoyed the video today, be sure to give it a thumbs up. And as always, my name is Mike. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And don't forget to hit the notification bell down below for any other projects that I upload. And I know some people are going to be complaining in the comments section saying that I forgot a few things, such as the non-blinking feature and a couple of other components here and there. But I usually tend to mainly focus on making sure that my projects are very budget friendly. So I'm not really worried about adding something like that to a car like this. I just wanted to make sure that the lighting was 10 times better than what it originally was. And as always, I really hope this is a video that you guys found really helpful, and I hope you guys have enjoyed watching the video today. So, as always, thank you all for tuning in for today's episode, and I hope to see you all on my next one. Take care.